welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 54. The conversation continues. I'm Kelvin.
I'm Robert.
This week we're continuing our Halloween spooky stuff. Woo-hoo! That was a happy ghost. But this week we're going with The Shining. And I met a new friend after watching The Shining. Hello, Kelvin. His name's Hector. He lives in my mouth. I'm Hector.
If you could only see him moving his little finger around.
But we'll get to Hector and The Shining and all the fun with that. But first, a little bit of entertainment news. Honestly, I only have one bit of entertainment news.
Wow.
And it will cost me a job later in life.
Nah.
But
Mate.
James Gunn has been hired on to write Suicide Squad 2 in your face, Disney. Not that they care. I'm sure they don't care. But it makes me so happy that he got a job on, after being fired for some bull crap the way he did. Anyway.
Huh. Well, let's hope he revigorates that movie.
I want to see what he does with Will Smith. Honestly, that's my biggest thing I want to see. Because I want it not to be the Will Smith show again, kind of like the first one was. Mm-hmm. As much as, he did a fine job. It's just too much of him.
Well, he was the biggest name in there.
Yeah.
They had to sell the movie somehow, so they went with Will Smith.
But and I get that, but I also, on one hand, the fan in me is like, Deadshot is not shouldn't overshadow Harley Quinn, the Joker,
Right.
But I get what you said is very true. He is the biggest name, or was the biggest name in there. Margot's trying to catch up, but and the girls would argue Jared Leto. But
the girls love him.
Yeah. Huh?
The girls love him.
They do, yeah.
I mean, I liked him way back in the day.
What has he done lately?
I don't know what he's done lately.
He's in a band or something right?
Yeah, he's in a band, 30 Seconds from Mars. I liked him when he was in, what was it called, My So-Called Life? Was that the TV show? Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And the ladies loved him back then, too. And he looked the exact same then as he does now, so that's maybe why. Which is kind of weird, though, because he looks like a young person.
He does.
I almost said boy. But I didn't want to go he looks like a boy, so women like boys. They don't like grown men.
Boyish good looks? That's a thing?
For girls, sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I would assume a woman would want a man like us.
Oh, okay.
Burly and manly.
Beardly.
And muscular. Sure we are. No, they're like Jared.
But, yeah, that's pretty much entertainment news unless you had something. I just saw that. I was happy. There's other stuff that happened, but that is what got me the happiest when I saw that. So, which will bring us to trailers. You want to inverse with me?
I'll go. Okay. My first one, it just came out recently. It's called Followed. And I'm going to go ahead and warn you, right off the bat. Yes, it's found footage. And I know what you're thinking. Boo, it's found footage. We're sick of found footage. It sucks. I know. I feel the same way initially. But I got to say, for every found footage movie that I've watched, I got into it. And it just, you sink into them. Even though it's found footage and you're tired of it.
It eventually goes away.
Eventually you start watching them. You really get into the movie.
Yeah. Because
it's found footage. So you almost kind of trick yourself into thinking that it's real or that it could be real as opposed to just a normal movie where it's fake.
Yeah.
So even though it's found footage, and I know that sucks, give it a chance. It looks kind of sort of cool. And it's basically about these vloggers. I guess vlogging's a thing. Video bloggers. I'm an old person. I don't know. And then they go around looking at haunted places or something. And I guess a place, some guy who owns a place that's really haunted. It's like, if you can get to this many people following you, then we will let you, do your thing in our hotel or something. And I guess if you go into the hotel elevator, you play the elevator game, whatever that is, and you go to a certain floor and then to another certain floor and to another certain floor, like in a combination. And then you open up the gateway to like another realm or something. I don't know. So that's basically what it's about. But my main thing is it's found footage. I know that's bad. But like I said, for everyone that I've watched that was found footage, I eventually got into it.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cool idea what they're doing with the whole combination thing, going into another realm in a hotel. So I'm hopeful for it, but I don't want to be like, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. Everybody watch it. It might suck. Yeah. But that's one of them. And I have one other.
Okay.
But it's not really a trailer. It's a movie that's on Netflix that's about trailers. It has a whole bunch of trailers in it from way back in the day. So if you want to watch a horrible movie about a whole bunch of trailers and just watch old trailers from way back in the day, watch Mad Ron's Previews from Hell. And that'll fulfill all your
Mad
Ron's Previews from Hell. It already sounds bad, and it is. I'm not gonna lie, but it was interesting to me because you got to watch all these old trailers for movies that basically, I think the movie world, like especially the horror movie world, went through a phase where everything was just trying to shock you.
Yeah.
Like back in the 60s and 70s, it was just shock. So you get to watch all these trailers of movies from way back in the day.
Does he narrate them?
He kind of does. Like there's little skits in between where he has a puppet.
Okay.
And he's doing a ventriloquist thing, which is horrible. It's not good. I'm not going to lie. But the trailers are cool because you get to see all these old trailers in one spot.
And I love trailers.
That you wouldn't have normally get access to. So it's interesting. So that's my spew on that.
Okay. I'm going to have to check that out. And this is on Netflix now?
Yep, it's on Netflix now, so you don't have to go pay any money for it. You can just, well, I guess you are paying money for Netflix, but you don't have to pay any extra money for it.
My cousin's got mine. Mine is long overdue. This one's called The Upside. And this has my other guru, Kevin, not Smith that I normally go on about, but Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a comedian, partnered with The Rock normally, or Ice Cube, one of those two guys. Very funny dude. Super hard worker, super crazy work ethic. He's gotten real far from just being a stand-up comic. Owns his own production company and all that. And he's a joy to watch in interviews. I geek out over people that I enjoy. Like, I dig deep and watch every interview I can find and all that crap. And he's one of those people that I've done that to. And this trailer is his first dive into dramatic, I guess, if you want to say.
I think I see the one you're talking about.
Him, Bryan Cranston, Nicole Kidman, I want to say.
Somebody.
One of those. But, yeah, Bryan Cranston plays a paraplegic, I believe is the correct word. Can't move anything, chair-ridden. And he's looking for a caretaker. Kevin Hart gets assigned in there as a caretaker just by chance. I guess a company gives him that job, and he's just there for the check. But he makes a wisecrack, and this billionaire is like, "Oh, this guy's selling it to me how it is. He don't care, you know."
Yeah, because probably
he becomes his caretaker, and the friendship grows from there. But I've been looking for him to kind of dive into this more dramatic, more mainstream movie. Not that his movies aren't mainstream, but I mean, freaking, Night School was the biggest comedy, out last weekend. But I'm really looking forward to this one. So check that trailer out when you guys get a chance.
It was a decent trailer. I did like that one.
And I think it looks like it's going for the feels. Not that I have any left, but I think that'll bring us to the main event, The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh, man. This 1980 classic, written and directed, I want to say. Not written. It wasn't written. It was adapted.
No, that was Stephen King.
Stephen King wrote it. But directed Stephen... help me out here. Kubrick.
Yep.
Stanley Kubrick directed it, starring Jack Nicholson. A slew of other folks.
A slew of other folks. You don't care who they are.
I have my phone out right now.
Miss Duvall. I don't know what her first name is.
Freaking Olive Oil. Didn't she play Olive Oil in the live action?
She may have, but yeah. We gotta get her last name was definitely Duvall. We got to give her credit because I think she did a spectacular job in this film. And the weirdest
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
Danny Lloyd played Danny Torrance. Scatman Curtis played Dick Howard.
Was that the cook?
Yes, that was the cook.
Okay. I got to talk about the cook.
Yes. And that scene describing the cook.
Yeah, I can't even. It's like even Ghost. Even fucking Ghost are racist.
Awkward. Jack was though said it. As black people, I was outraged. But at the same time, I cracked up. Also, before I get into the synopsis of this, I was told by someone who remained nameless that I go too deep with my synopsis. So I won't do that this time. I'll go with the main.
Maybe that's what the people enjoy. Just that one person doesn't like it.
That could be true.
Who will remain nameless? Yeah. You'll tell me later.
Essentially, a writer, has been hired on to do winter care for a hotel that closes down during the winter. And he gets told that this hotel is haunted. There. I hope you're happy. That's the end of the synopsis. But yeah,
I don't think we need to say spoilers. This is such an old movie.
Yeah,
and such a well-known movie. Yeah. If you haven't watched it by now, then I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I don't know what you're doing.
Go down with Mad Ron.
But yeah, this is, like I said, a classic, and I feel like we need to do it justice.
I think because it's a classic, mm-hmm. and it has such a huge following,
massive,
that our view on the movie might be skewed because of that. Mm-hmm. So what is your honest
take,
interpretation, feelings about this movie without letting the hype? Honestly, influence.
It lives up to the hype, honestly. Like, I didn't realize there's a lot of things I haven't realized because I haven't watched this movie in so long. But upon rewatching it, like, it kind of lives up to the hype. Like, there's some, and honestly, like, we're watching it as a horror movie, and I know it's classified as a horror movie, but it's not like scary, really. Like, there's not like,
it's more like such psychologically creepy.
Yeah, like
crawls under your skin slowly and then rips out your eyes.
There eventually. We go. Let's go there. But yeah, honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed. Like, it's shot beautifully. The acting is fantastic.
Did you find it weird? Like, I felt like it was like almost like going back in time and like back in the 60s or 50s or something where people were like overly polite to each other.
Yeah.
They're like, hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. How are you? It's a fine morning, isn't it? The sun's shining and everybody's happy.
That's how they are in Colorado.
It's like, it just sounded weird. Like the acting almost was like overly that.
Yeah.
Instead of just being natural. But then every once in a while you got natural Jack. I'm sorry, I'm saying Jack, but his name was something Torrance. I can't remember what his first name was. Johnny Torrance.
Yeah, because
you got real Jack, yeah. which was like in like stark contrast to that overly polite, which may have been the point, Stanley.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not going to even try to read your mind because it's
no one can
out there. But yeah,
I agree. But yeah, I've been to that hotel twice now, and it's got some major upgrades since the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the maze is not actually they built a tiny little maze that is like knee height out front to represent it now. But that maze is not there. It's somewhere else.
Rip off. If I went there expecting a maze, there better be a maze.
There's a lot of things that rip off there because you also can't go upstairs. Upstairs is only for guests because it's still an active hotel.
Can you go into that room? What was it, 237?
Nope, that's upstairs.
Can't go up there?
Can't even see the elevator. What? You can't, yeah.
Can you go into the cooler?
Nope.
Where they trap Jack? You can't go? I keep saying Jack. I'm gonna say, just for future reference, I'm gonna say Jack every now and when I mean Johnny.
Yeah, everyone knows Jack. Can
you get in a little snow gizmo and drive around?
No. Like, it's pretty much, in the basement they have a little museum that shows like stuff that from the movie.
Can you ride around on a little three-wheeler up and down the aisles?
I wish. There's not even twin girls there.
No twin girls. Well,
but it is surrounded by mountains, and it is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in my life. So it's worth it.
But there's no twins.
There's no twins. Thank God, because I probably would have shot myself in the face if those two little girls showed up.
They should hire two little lookalikes to just walk around the hotel.
Come and play
That'd
with us.
be great.
What? No. So this little kid, let's get into this movie. This little kid is special from the get-go.
He's got
it's not even the hotel.
I have a confession.
Go ahead.
It took me a while because it's been a long time since I've watched this movie. Even though I liked it when I first watched it years and years ago. It was this was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even connect the name of the movie with what the people did.
Exactly.
The Shining. It didn't connect until I was actually paying attention, trying to really watch it hard for this. Yeah. I'm like, oh, The Shining. That's their ability to be able to, all that weird spiritual telepathic stuff that I don't know how to word. I didn't realize that's what that was. So now the name of the movie makes sense to me because I didn't get it at first.
Same here. I was like, oh, as a youth, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched this since my youth.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I didn't really pay attention to the scene where the old cook is talking to the little kid.
Yeah, I know, because he explains the whole thing.
Yeah,
there's so much foreshadowing in this thing. It's ridiculous. So if you pay attention, you have to listen to every single thing every single person says.
And they literally give you stuff.
Yeah,
it's cause from the very start, we get glimpses of almost everything that happens horrible in the hotel. From Danny and Tommy. And then Tommy.
I don't know what his name is.
Tommy, he's a boy who lives in my mouth. Where this fucking thing?
As long as it's not Tommy Wiseau, we're fine.
Who has a TV show out that I really want to do for this show. 10 episodes. He hasn't. I'm sorry, we're getting off the track. So where does kid ever? And the parents just go. Well, the mom just goes along with this.
It's normal though. Imaginary friends. Imaginary friends normal.
Changing voice though, and then he says it lives in his mouth, but it talks through his finger. What's going on with the finger? I don't know what's going on.
There's some theories about this movie. We'll talk about the finger later.
Okay. Check Shelley Duvall real quick to see if she was in.
What, Popeye?
Popeye. She was. Yep, she was out of the way.
Okay.
Yep. So I apologize.
It doesn't take anything away from you for being in Popeye.
Hey, I enjoyed it. I am what I am. And R.P. Robin Williams. But so I guess that is The Shining, though. Tommy in his mouth is The Shining. It's telling him what to do and what's going to happen.
Well, it's just a person's ability to be able to interact with that spiritual world.
Yeah, but that's how his is manifesting.
That's his. Yeah. So that dude, whoever was in his mouth, that little boy, that was probably somebody from that hotel, some spirit or somebody.
Yeah,
because it wasn't just some random dude who lived in New York
or little boy's mouth.
California. It was specifically somebody related to this family in that hotel. So it's probably some dude from that hotel who had died. Yeah. That's what this whole movie's about. Is dead people.
Yeah, and the fact that
haunting.
So is the hotel just haunted? It was the act? No. It drove the original caretaker crazy.
The place did.
The place
the black guy. I won't say the word that the other people use. The place. No, well, the place has The Shining, just like people have The Shining. The place has The Shining.
Has The Shining. Okay.
Okay, so he explained that, which made sense to me. This run through.
Yeah.
So it made sense that place has been affecting all these people. And the point that I wanted to make real quick: why do we keep building stuff on top of Indian burial grounds?
It's not done anymore, but it was a big thing in the South.
They just kept us what do we got here? An Indian burial ground? We're going to build something on it.
White man rules.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is dumb. It shouldn't happen. But it happened all the time back then. Yeah, this was built on an Indian burial ground. They sound proud. They say it too.
No, Poltergeist. I just love it. I love that movie, but it's on a. It's so obvious. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I think we've learned our lesson now, though. But the mom she's different. I like her. She's at the end of her ropes, I think.
You think she's at the end of her ropes? I think she's the most resilient person in this movie. She is a beast. You don't think so? Think about it. She's the most resilient person in this movie.
Can I skip ahead real quick to when Jack finally snaps and she reads the things. And they're on the stairs.
Yeah. And she's swinging the bat.
That's like a 3-minute scene.
Yeah.
They're walking up. No, come here.
By resilient, I don't mean her.
Now, honey. Now, come here. That goes on for about 2.5 minutes. I'm sorry. Go
I don't mean her ability to use a bat.
Yes.
I mean her mental resilience.
Yes.
To put up with what she's got to put up with. Yeah. She's got to put up with him.
That crazy son.
A crazy son. And the fact that she's isolated. She's clearly a social person. She's isolated with these two people who are basically off their rockers in their own way. And she's the only solid rock in the entire movie, besides the black person, which again, I won't say the name that they use. We've got, it's so horrible, the moment when he says it. He's like,
why can't we find a break? I mean, I know this movie was made when we weren't given breaks, but still, we can't even get a break in this.
She's the most resilient person in this movie. She is the rock. She saves the little boy's life. Yes, she sucked with the baseball bat, but she's solid. Even when real Johnny comes out, Mr. Torrance, and that first scene when he's like, when you come in this room, like, don't come in here when I'm typing.
Yeah.
And he's like, so why don't you do me a favor and get the fuck out? I mean, that right there.
That was like she's not drinking.
And she's just standing there like, okay, all right. She didn't snap and just slap the crap out of him.
She actually went like completely. I was like, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I shouldn't disturb you when you're working.
She was a solid rock, despite the fact that she was being abused and just.
So okay. Maybe you changed my mind on her a bit.
She's my favorite character in the movie.
Oh, really?
I thought she did the best. She dragged him into a cooler and locked him in there. Couldn't figure the door out, but she eventually got him in there and then locked him in and left him in there until a ghost let him out. I don't know how the ghost let him out.
The racist ghost.
Yeah, but she was the rock. She saved the day. Yeah. It wasn't the black dude because he got, as soon as he walked in the door, he's like, it's over. She was the one. It wasn't the little kid. What did the little kid do? They told the little kid, the black guy, the ghost that lived in his mouth said, don't go into that room. What did the little kid do? What did the little kid do?
He went into that room. And then got strangled by an old lady.
Supposedly, but there's a theory that it wasn't the old lady that strangled him. It was, who. Because there was some stuff going on. Have you seen this theory? You know this theory? Yeah. You didn't see this theory?
No.
There's a thing on YouTube. There's all kinds of crap on YouTube, folks. I mention YouTube a lot. I hope I'm not giving YouTube unnecessarily props.
And we will like a sponsorship.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Before we even go any further. There's a theory that this is all about, I don't know if you know that, Johnny Torrance molesting the boy. And it shows all the connections. It shows when the doctor, the woman, I don't know if she's a psychiatrist or what she is.
When
she's checking him out, she's talking to him. She's like talking to him.
Yeah.
She's like, tell me about blah, blah, blah. And there's a bear in the background of his head, like this little thing. That same bear, his theme is like later on in the movie when there's some fellatio going on. It's like, why? And Kubrick doesn't do random.
No. Everything he does
is purposeful and has a point and makes sense. There's a bear giving fellatio almost said fellatio. I don't know what that is. There's a bear in the scene where she's trying to get him to talk about the little boy in his mouth. There's other hints that, like when the boy came walking down, when he's Mr. Torrance is like freaking out, and he's like waking up from a dream. He dreamed he just killed everybody, and then the little boy walks in, and he's like sucking his thumb, and then he's like got some stuff around his neck because he's been strangled.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because he was in that room, but because Mr. Torrance may have just molested him and caused him to do something. There's all this stuff, and when you see it together, it makes sense. It might not be, but the way these people like flesh it out, it makes sense. That it may be about. They even go as far to say when Jack drools when he wakes up from the dream, that's supposed to represent something coming out of somebody's mouth.
Gotcha.
I mean, everything makes sense. It's sad as hell.
Yeah.
But especially when they show the bear. Like, why would there be a bear here doing that? Because that's a random scene in that movie.
Extremely random.
That's random. Why would they put that in there unless there was a point to that? And it's the same thing with the bear in the very beginning of the movie that was laying right next to the little kid that looked demonic because they had actually cut out the eyes and actually show they actually show the picture of what that bear would actually look like without. That was released and what they did to it for the movie. So it makes sense. What they're saying is that was like a metaphor for a lot of it's a metaphor for him, for the little kid being molested. And you see how weird he acts around his dad. And when he's like, come in here for a second and sit on my lap. And he instantly becomes like stiff.
Yeah.
And like,
Wait, the kid becomes stiff?
Yeah. Okay. the kid becomes stiff. Like he doesn't want to really talk to his dad or whatever. He doesn't look him in the eye. And then he's like, you wouldn't hurt us, would you? And then like why'd your mom tell you that? All the stuff makes sense. So if you watch this, I wish I knew what the name of the video was so you could watch it on YouTube.
Gotcha.
But there's all this stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what Kubrick was going for. Because it's just too much of a coincidence for somebody who doesn't do random stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Just take you down. There's a dark path in this movie.
Darker than
Sorry, everybody was like, I love this movie. And I just mentioned that, and they're like, I don't think I love it anymore.
This is bullshit. Well, dang. That does. I mean, because Jack is an asshole. Like, that is given in this movie. He's given, like, off the bat that he is a jerk. He's not, like, he hurt the boy. Like you said, I thought just hurt him because he was drunk.
Everybody just think he just yanked his arm, which he did, and then like dislocated his shoulder or whatever.
And probably because the boy was trying to run from him, like you said. So,
but this stuff goes deeper, and it makes total sense if you look at it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say, because I don't want to speak for Kubrick. I don't know what the man was thinking.
Nobody does.
But those people's theories are so almost dead on that it makes perfect sense.
Jeez.
So it's something to think about.
It
makes an already good movie that much better because now you're like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You thought you did, but now you don't.
Yeah, because that random scene would be.
And did you see how Jack was freaking out after the boy came in, was sucking his thumb? And the mom was like, you did this. And he was like, yeah. He was just freaking. He's just doing all this weird stuff. It's like, it just makes sense. There's like more going on in that hotel.
I wonder what's going on then with the bar scenes. Like, is that because he's missing booze, or is that how he sees himself going crazy in his mind with drinking beer?
I don't know. That's I don't know. I can't dig that deep right now.
Yeah, jeez. There's so many layers.
Especially after knowing all the nastiness that could be going on there.
Yeah.
It just I don't want to dig that deep because I'm scared now to find out what's really going on. What did he really mean? What was he really going for? Kubrick, were you molested? Are you trying to act this out in your movie and let people know without thinking they know, but now everybody knows? But luckily you're dead, so you don't have to worry about them knowing? That was a mean thing to say.
Let's go back a little bit. If you were to take a job like that and you were told someone went crazy and murdered their family here, but it was because of cabin fever. Would you still take that position?
If I had a family? No.
Yes. Okay.
If I didn't have a family, it was just me, yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Not if I had a family. Because I wouldn't want to put my family through that.
Yeah. That is like insensitive. Because he's like...
But that's what he plays from the very beginning.
Yeah.
There's not a moment in that movie where he's playing a good man. From that entire
towards his family,
just in general, I think he plays a jerk.
He's pretty good with.
He was cordial to the people because he wanted a job, but he wasn't like a good person.
Yeah,
he kind of, to me, sounded fake because he's like, I assumed the skiing would be great up here. Why do you close down?
Yeah,
like you don't care about skiing, dude.
He was really fake with him. That's true.
But then he was real when he talked to his wife because he's like, get the fuck out of here and all this kind of stuff.
And the car ride taking them to that place even was like. She's all jolly and happy, the kid's happy, and
they start talking about people eating people.
Yeah, and then...
Isn't this where the Donner Party?
See, honey, he got it from TV as he drives, the car.
It's like, yeah, there's
nothing... chill, fucker.
There's nothing about him that seems like a nice guy to me.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's doing all this bad stuff.
And as a struggling writer, you shouldn't take that shit out on other people.
No. Yeah, it's crazy. He didn't even need the booze.
No.
Think if he actually had some booze.
And that's what I'm thinking, like, that's how his mind was playing out. Its mental breakdown is like, because he was so used to
Did you like the conversations with the bartender?
He was so out there in those scenes. Like, and
the bartender was pretty straightforward.
That's what I mean. Like, the bartender is like this real,
like,
clean cut, like, straight dude.
Straight, who knew more than he was letting on.
And Jack is all like, you know what? I'm just so happy. Like, he chose every word, every crazy word, and or hint on every syllable. I happen to be tapped out right now. Like, he's, that whole Jack way. Like, it was such a weird back and forth. And those probably have some meaning as well. But, so he then meets the old caretaker who spills something on him. But takes him to the bathroom, clean him off, and he realizes, hey, wait a minute, I heard a story about you. Well, he kind of realizes because he's still talking to the guy. And we get to the scene we're talking about. Well, no, this is after that. They pull him. This is when he gets him out of the freezer, right? Or was this in the bathroom?
I think it was the bathroom.
Bathroom?
The bathroom is when they say it.
So this whole caretaker. So racist, bigot caretaker. It's freaking, he's like, so, your son. Yeah, my son. Your son is bringing someone else into the equation. Someone else? Into the equation? Yes. Someone else to the equation. Who? A nigger. Right there. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I watch it as a kid? Did this happen? But then Jack, confused. Going crazy. A nigger? I'm like, wait. Did the Joker just diss me? What do I feel about this?
It's so weird because, like, they're so worried about it as a black person.
Yeah.
Not that somebody with this psychic ability is coming in
just
to jack up their flow. But no, it's a black guy.
Yeah.
So this is even worse.
It's horrible.
It's even worse that it's a black guy doing it.
I'm probably going to bleep those out because I do not condone using that word. I don't think it should be used. It's just it's such a weird scene. Like,
yeah, it's for us. Maybe not for other people.
Yeah, maybe not for other people.
But for us, it stands out.
I mean, this was made. That was commonplace. But yeah, it's still that word stings just as much as it did back then for me. Just trying to describe what that scene was like.
Let's talk about the cook for a second.
Yes,
he had an interesting ability. He was well versed in it. He knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He tried to warn him. He warned the boy anyway not to go in there. I'm still. I think they all had The Shining. I think the mom had it because she started seeing those dead people at the end of the.
She did.
I think the boy had it.
You don't think that was the house?
No, I think it was her. I think they all had a part of it. That's why the son had it so strong because both the mom and the dad had it. That's my theory. But like just from him, the cook trying to warn him, the fact that he was able to sense it from so far away that he needed to be back there. I mean, he was pretty powerful.
Yeah, he was super in tune to us.
It sucked that he couldn't see the future because he wouldn't have gone back there if he knew he was just going to walk into an axe.
Yeah, He was a powerful shiner, though. I want to call him a shiner.
Yeah.
It's like a TV show, The Shiners. But yeah, like, I love his introduction, though.
But did you think it was weird what I was getting to when I want to talk about about the cook? They go to his home. Where's he at, in Florida?
Yeah, he's down in Florida.
And they go to, he's got these paintings on the wall. And that's what they wanted to focus on. They had, at least that's what I focused on when I saw the paintings. Do you not remember the paintings?
No.
You're looking like you don't remember the paintings?
No.
He had two on one wall, both walls. He had paintings of black women who were nude, and they had one of them had a fro. You do not remember this?
What?
How can you? It was like they were blaring it in your face.
I was so intently paying attention to him, like, because like I was trying to listen to every word. I missed that.
There's these giant like paintings of like paintings of like naked women of naked women with pros. It was just so like I don't know. I thought it was weird. I understand he was a single man, old man. So but he was like over his bed. He was like laying in bed watching TV, and he got this giant painting of a naked woman over his bed.
Wow.
Do you have a giant painting of a naked woman over your bed?
I might. Don't judge me.
I don't think you do.
It gets lonely.
I definitely don't have a naked woman over my bed.
No, but yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch that part.
Yeah, it's blur. To me, it's like it's over. It's too much.
Because I remember his feet. And then
you never looked up and saw a naked woman. I feel like they zoomed in on it. Man. I feel like they zoomed in on it and just framed it perfectly and were just like in and out. Like, look at me.
Different cuts to this.
Yes, I swear.
I'm gonna have to rewatch.
Someone else jump in and join the conversation where they're not paintings of naked women with froze.
I believe you. I just can't believe I missed the giant naked women.
They're there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know what that said about the guy. I feel like because he would like Kubrick doesn't put random things in his movies.
Yeah.
He could have done this movie in 2 months, but he spent 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years doing it. Why would you spend that long refining each and every little bit and then not mean something when you put those naked like paintings of African women with froze above the dude's bed?
I wonder, like, maybe that's his view of how we are. Maybe he thinks that's what all black people do. I don't know.
Kubrick.
But his introduction is even cool though, because he like we get right off the bat something's up because he calls the kid Doc, and the mom's like, "Wait, what? How do you know that? We don't call it. We call him that. How do you know?" He's like, "Oh, I must have heard you say."
And that's why I think she has The Shining, because the kid wouldn't have been saying in my head, "They call me Doc." Mm-hmm. They call me Doc. He would have been thinking his name because he didn't think of himself as Doc. The mom is thinking of him as Doc. So she's probably thinking, "Hey, Doc, come here, Doc. You be careful. Hey, Doc, blah, blah, blah." So he's thinking that, reading that, or sensing that. So that's why I think the mom definitely has The Shining, because
I see that
of that scene.
The freaking pantry scene was weird though.
Mm-hmm.
Where
he's like some ice cream.
Yeah, like he's blah blah blah.
You know what? I bet you this is where old boy got that line for Forrest Gump. Because he was like, fried shrimp, sauteed shrimp. He basically did the same thing in the pantry.
He was.
We got canned peaches. We got canned this. We got canned that.
Down. How about we get you some ice cream? I'm like, what?
Is he also a pedophile? What's really going on? Everybody's worried about this little boy.
And then they go into the conversation that we mentioned earlier of pretty much explaining what The Shining is. They should have started. They still can't. No, like I said, can't. The man's dead. But they could have started a team, the Shiners, and went around busting ghosts.
Yeah. I don't see it. But okay.
In my world, the old man lives. He mentors the kid who becomes like this badass leather wearing ghost busting Shiner, and he runs around from Indian Burial Ground to Indian.
You know what? You could write that sequel because the boy did survive.
He did, right? Yeah. So, I might do that. The Shiners. But yeah, we get to watch the slow breakdown. How do you think Jack Nicholson's acting was in this?
Like I said, some of it seemed weird. Like all of it was good, but like it was almost like he was overly polite. Like I'm way back in the day when people were overly polite, whether they meant it or not. But I liked it because there was that contrast between him when he was being a complete ass to his wife. So it just made sense then. So I mean,
those
I
scenes
enjoyed
stood
that
out
part.
more.
Yeah, so it made sense. I don't have any problems with any of the acting. Even that, I liked. I thought she did great. Even when she was running down the hallway and her hands were going like that. I don't know if you saw that. If you felt weird about it too, like she's running and her hands are just flopping all over the place. I don't know if she was holding a knife at the time, but she was just running around doing that. It just looks so ridiculous, but it looks so perfect at the same time.
And I say this about a lot of movies, but I didn't realize how many things came from this movie that are like iconic scenes came from like this film. Red Rum, like people say that shit all Red Rum.
Yeah, that was such an obvious, like now as the ghost. Plus, it's so obvious that it was murder spelled backwards. But we just didn't, like, we just heard Red Rum.
Yeah, Red Rum in that voice.
And then the girls, like, you never thought, like, because the guy was like, even explaining, he's like, yeah, I had to correct my girls. So, but my mom didn't want to, so I had to correct her too.
Yep.
You know, so
if you know what I mean.
So, and again, that leads to the whole molesting thing. It's like, so it just all like it's crazy.
Do you think that house was like?
I hope it wasn't just a house of
like maybe it was killing the molesters.
But it was killing everybody else too. It wanted to kill everybody.
They didn't get away though. But this family did it right. They got away. I don't know.
That's a good. You know what? You just hit another one. Someone's gonna make a whole new YouTube video. The house that kills molesters. But this is the one. This is the one time the guy got away with.
Yeah, there's so many things in this movie.
I thought the kid running into the maze was the dumbest thing he could possibly do, but then it actually worked out.
But only because they did a walk through it. I guess that was some heavy foreshadowing too. They walked through it earlier.
He knew the maze.
And apparently, he remembered. I would have been lost.
But still, all the dude had to do was follow the track.
Exactly.
And so, but he figured out how to backtrack somehow, slowly and awkwardly, so he could hide somewhere, and then, you know.
See, and that was the Shiner coming through, because that was a Shiner trick to trick ghosts. You backtrack.
No, that don't work for no ghost. Ghosts would be like, "What are you doing? I can see you,
motherfucker." Shiner's come to the theater near you. There's so many things in this. Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
Like that scene's used everywhere.
A huge scene.
Here's Johnny. And I always thought he did it right away, but he doesn't. Like he breaks through one door and Jesse's home for dinner or something like that. And then
she's just screaming while he chops through the door.
Yeah. She just screams a lot.
I was sad when she couldn't fit through because she's already the skinniest person alive. She's the tiniest person.
That boy.
She could like squeeze under a door.
That's why she played olive oil.
She couldn't get through that window.
I can't fit. Yeah, well, close your legs. I bet you slide right through. Yeah, whore.
You channel your Johnny Torrance there. You got a little Johnny Torrance in you.
How about you don't interrupt me when I'm podcasting? Your overall take on The Shining, sir?
Initially, when I first watched it years ago, I thought it was a good horror movie.
Yes.
I didn't get the hype. As years have gone by and I watched it again, I start to get it.
Yes.
It's pretty freaking epic. It's so deep. There's so many theories you can apply to it. There's no one way to look at it, and then
that's what she said.
There's no one way to look at it and just like be satisfied. It's like it just goes on. It just goes on. She said that too. It just goes on and on. Even the ending, seeing Jack in the photo from the past, you don't know if he like imprinted himself into the past or if he was actually in the past, and then that was like his future self. Or a version of its future self everything is just it's so weird because there's even the caretaker that was cleaning them off in the bathroom had the same last name but a different first name, so it could still be layered on. Like just this is just a crazy thing to think about. It just you can't wrap your mind around it. You try to, and as soon as you do, you're like somebody else throws another theory at you, and you're like, oh crap,
yeah,
Kubrick, you've done it again. You've blown my mind.
We have a friend who loves this movie, and he's probably gonna listen to this and throw a fit.
I don't know if he will. I think he's still mad at us.
Bacon, I'm talking about.
Oh, bacon.
Bacon,
oh.
Yeah.
You were like bacon.
But yeah, so definitely go watch for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you haven't already.
Especially with the time of year, why would you not watch these classic horror movies?
Yes.
Or psychological thrillers or whatever you want to call them. It's just the time. Dead Summer. I don't know if this is a movie for you, but right now, this is it. This is when you
some chili, some beer, a blanket,
dive into them.
Boom. But yeah, I'm going to say 100% go watch. This movie hits all the right spots.
That's what she said.
It has all the freaking good acting, the good plot, good murder scenes. I loved it all.
There's really no flaws in it.
No.
Besides being slightly dated, which is understandable, there's really no flaws in this. Everything was so perfectly thought out. Everything you can connect to one thing or another.
We're forgetting about the old lady scene, which is a great scene as well.
In the bathroom, old lady.
When Jack actually goes into the room.
We're trying to forget it.
Well,
that's why we didn't mention it. It's like there's a beautiful woman in there supposedly, and you go in, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then all of a sudden, you're not so beautiful. You're old and creepy, and she's laughing at you, which is another thing men don't like. You know what? Man doesn't want a woman to laugh at him.
True.
And she's laughing like, I'm an old bitch. I gotcha.
But why does he lie to his wife about that? Like, wouldn't that something you would tell your wife? If she just said...
Every married man is like, this guy's never been married.
So, if she just said, there's an old lady he said an old lady did this to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Which just leads to the whole point of the whole molesting thing. It just leads right back to why we keep going back to that. Kelvin, stop.
I don't want to go back to that. We're going to end this podcast before it gets any weirder. As normal, you can find Go Watch a Movie on GoWatchAMovie.podbean at podbean.com. One of those two. Go Watch a Movie on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Get us anywhere a podcast can be heard. We're on Spotify. The podcasts are going up on YouTube now. The podcasts are up on Spotify. No, I said Spotify. SoundCloud, the other S one. Just about anywhere you can get a podcast. We are there. Hector, anything you want to say? Go watch a movie. Too soon for that, okay? Anyway, anything else to add, Rob?
Nope, we did it.
The Shining is such a big movie. We
could go on for hours.
Yeah, hours on this. But what the fuck? I don't know what that was on TV. Oh, Jesus. The Dream Door, huh? But, that's Go Watch a Movie. Part of our spooky month in October. I'm Kelvin.
I'm Robert.
I'm Hector. Go watch a movie.